So I finish the Pan-European and get the medals. We returned from Spain to Athens at Eleftherios Venizelos. And I was supposed to fly home to Thessaloniki, my home. And while on the flight, I had already landed. A coach from the national team comes and tells me, you Karoladis, you won't go to Thessaloniki. He says, you will go to Loutraki. The main training camp for the 2004 Olympic Games has begun, and you'll now be training with Jacovou.
What are you saying now? This? Now?
So young. I have a competition bag, I don't have clothes to stay, and a house that's rented in Thessaloniki, and I'm going to Loutraki. We did a camp there, 3 months of preparation, and in 2003, the Men's European Championship was finally held in Greece, in Loutraki. Jacovou took them there to train in the same climate as the matches. That's ideal. In 1999, we had the Men's World Championship where Valerios won a medal, and in 2003, the Men's European Championship was held in Greece. So I went to that training camp as a young athlete who had been chosen by Jacovou.
Were you the youngest?
One of the youngest. Well, we were a group of about 20 people, all between 17 and 20 years old, young kids just starting out. 10 more people came with the women plus 20 from the main national team. World-class top experts. And anyway, the bus arrived. A bus took us to Loutraki. The bus arrived at night, I don't know, around midnight. They took us straight to a restaurant. Jacovou kept everything organized. Restaurant, field, rooms, and guest houses, all were perfect. We went to a restaurant to have some dinner so we could sleep and train the next day. Jacovou comes in too, a bit sleepy, wearing his slippers. You know, we go inside and he talks to us a bit strictly. He says, things are very serious here. These are the world's top athletes. We're in for a tough training session with about 40 men and women. And from that group back then, the top 10 will remain, who will go to the 2004 Olympic Games. That was the situation. And when the introduction and all that was over, I was eating a steak there, he says. Does anyone have any problem? Tell me now, he says. And I raise my hand, right? I say, Mr. Christos, I say my leg. You know, I had surgery and I was injured during the race. And I showed it to him, you know, he saw that it was swollen there and he doesn't answer me. He doesn't even speak to me. And he tells the other coaches and assistants, there was a whole team, he says, why did you bring him here? Like, you know, we're 40 people. Why did you bring the injured guy? You think about it, that's your first reaction, huh? And I go, anyway.
Did he know anything about it?
He knew me well, but saw I was injured. I was very young, so he didn't count on me. The next day we went to the gym, but I couldn't walk.
Now you're telling me that's Piros Demas?
Best team, and it's my first time staying permanently. He could have kicked me out, but I joined the team. I'm sitting on the set when I came to train, and I didn't train, I was just sitting there. A coach comes from behind, Politidis, Alexandros Politidis, cousin of Valerios Leonidis. Amazing athlete and excellent coach. He asks why I'm not training. I say my leg hurts. He says it's fine. Jacovou had set a very demanding schedule. We trained 5 hours each morning and evening. What was happening? We did 5 exercises each morning and evening, squats, snatch, clean and jerk, then repeated snatch and clean and jerk. In the morning, this took 5 hours, then we ate, rested, and repeated snatch, clean and jerk, snatch, clean and jerk, and legs in the afternoon. We did 4 snatches, 4 clean and jerks, and 2 leg workouts daily.
Now you're also telling me about triples and singles. How's that going?
The entire program, 1 hour snatch, 1 hour clean, 1 hour legs, 5 hours in the morning, 5 at night. And he says, here's what you'll do. While the others train snatches for an hour, you'll do strict snatches, lifting only with your arms. My legs wouldn't work. One was wrecked. You'll only use your arms, only arms, nothing else.
So could your leg get better in a year? Was it like that? It got better.
I'll tell you a story. He would do 1 hour of strict snatch and 1 hour of strict clean press. When I had legs, I might have done a few half squats, and I did the others program with the bar and only strict. Gradually, I added 30, 40 kilos as I rested and my leg healed. And there was a doctor, he gave me physiotherapy every day, all day physiotherapy and those things for me. After a week, 10 days, I started to feel better and I began to do a little training. My legs started to get better. I found ways to warm it up and how to put ice on it again afterwards. Imagine my whole leg on top had formed a scab because I was using heat cream. I was training, I was in a lot of pain, and then ice after snatch and then clean again. I did this 10 times a day before and after each exercise, applying heat cream, then ice 10 times a day. And my leg, my skin had burned. It had gotten a burn and it was a scab. Think about how much I wanted to do it and how hard I tried to hurt less so I could join the team. Long story short, during those months, training with them, I started to recover within 10 days, and during the first month, I was doing really well. And by the end of the training, even though I was 17 years old, I managed to lift a lot of weight, set a national record, and be chosen by Jacovou for the European Men's Championship, even at the age of 17. Leaving out people like Valerios, like Celilis, who didn't compete, Piros didn't compete, Kai competed, then Sabanis, Mitro, Christos, Spiro. These are the big names. Among the 2 or 3 youngsters who competed, I was one of them, like a complete outsider. And if it wasn't for that man telling me to take the bar and spend an hour with it in 2 or 3 days, Jacovou would have kicked me out because I wasn't training. Just because I did something, he considered it okay and let me stay, and in 3 months. At 17, I competed in the European Men's Championship and finished 6th despite all I'd been through, which was an incredible achievement for that time. That year, I set another national record and finished 2nd at the World Championship. The same year in Mexico, that's what happened. I entered the men's national team with a lot of energy. I jumped right in. In general, in my life, I did everything a bit quickly and a bit wrong. I had injuries. I think I'm not very good. Uh, Look, the hardest thing is to get up and go to the gym, to train, to go to the gym and train. And then if you're inspired by the people at the gym, your coaches, if they inspire you, you stick around too. They should find a gym and a coach who inspires them and stay. For me, there are people who train online with me, even though they could train with another coach, and yet they choose to train online with me. Because I inspire him as a coach, that's what matters. Even top athletes experience this. Alex Cotulas once said something nice. I've been with Kyrielides for 10 years. I understand some things and I'm still learning, but overall, I've gained a lot. Why stay with him? Because he inspires you just by being there, even if he no longer teaches you anything new. Having your coach by your side makes you feel better about yourself. Like Jacovou did for us. We would enter the gym, and just because Jacovou was there in the gym, I was better than on the days he wasn't there. I didn't push myself that much. When Jacovou was there, it was like the camera was on me and I had to be the best version of myself. So that's it. They should find a gym with quality people who inspire them. They should stay and work out, regardless of what they do or sport they play.